know I like to draw, but one thing you might not know about me is that I have another creative talent that I'm extremely good at, and that is playing the guitar. Doesn't seem right because it's not. I unfortunately do not have one musical bone in my body, but my friends do, and one of them has kindly entrusted me with the electrical guitar to paint on. So that's what we're going to be doing in this video. I'm really excited for this. If you are too, then stick around till after the intro. Hey, what's up people, this is Procreate. My name is Josh Hidao and I'm an artist, and we hit 500 subscribers. I just want to say that right away, just say how thankful I am right away. In this video, this is not going to be the 500 subscriber special because I started working on this and did not expect to hit 500 subscribers before this video came out. But now let's talk about the matter at hand. This is the body of some kind of electrical guitar. Like I said, my friend has kindly lent me this, given me this, and trusted me with this to paint it. And we have a bit of a plan going on. I've already sanded it down last night, which was a very dusty and tedious procedure, but now we're here, and what we're going to do now is take some pictures of this body, import it into Procreate, and do some sketches of how it's supposed to look when we're done with this. Okay, let's get started. Coming up with a design for the guitar was actually quite challenging because if you look on the internet, usually what you find is either something that is very cliche or something that is very abstract on guitars. And also the body, it gives you a lot of room to play with, but not that much that you can actually use to draw on. So we came up with this. I am actually quite happy with how it turned out. And yeah, let's see how well it'll translate onto the guitar. All of the designing is done. This took a lot longer than I expected it to, but now I have a good design that I want to go with, not just a sketch, but the design that I want. So from here, what we're going to do, I had my friend print out the actual design onto physical paper. This is going to help us, first of all, determine the exact areas of color that we want to have. So we have a brown and a white area. So this is what we're going to do first, and just paint all of that in acrylic. And then from there, what we're going to do is cover the entire back of the piece of paper in pencil. Then we're going to place the piece of paper on the guitar where we want it and just trace all of the lines with another pencil. Hopefully what that is going to do is push through only the areas of the lead onto the guitar that we want, and leave a perfect copy of our finished drawing on the guitar, and leaving it only for us to just follow again, and that should be it. Alright, I'm super excited for it. Let's get into it. So if you ever find yourself in the situation of painting an electrical guitar, the best way to go about it is probably to take off the entire original layer of paint completely. I think you can do that with a heat gun or a blow dryer, and that just melts it off and reveals the wood underneath, which is a great surface. Wood is a very good surface to work on, but we decided to not do that because we were a little bit afraid of ruining the electrical stuff on the inside. So all I did was sand it off like I showed you, and that gave an okay surface to work with, a lot better than it could have been, but also not perfect. It took about 2 layers to get the brown acrylic paint down, and about 7 layers for the white because the original orange of the guitar kept shining through, so it took a little bit more. But in the end, we got to quite a solid white. And yeah, just for information, what I'm using to draw on top is 2 Posca pens, one in black and one in white, and those work perfectly. I think they're called M1 or something. The tip is about 0.7 millimeters, and that worked just perfectly. I got a lot more detail in than I was expecting it to get in, to be honest, and yeah, I can definitely recommend those. They didn't smudge at all or anything. Yeah, quite good pens to work with. For the design, there were kind of 2 aspects that inspired us to go with this one. The first one was that my friend who owns this guitar, he liked guitar designs like these, And while that is a very different technique and a very different art form that I am not able to do at the moment, I did like the kind of aesthetic of the design and those like smaller areas of different colors taking over the larger areas of the original color of the guitar. And that inspired us kind of to go with this white area that I have there that kind of wraps itself around, circles around the body of the guitar, which is largely a different color, which in this case is brown. And I really like that, not only because of the aspect that I just mentioned, but also because it gives me like a focused area to work on, to draw on. Because the body of the guitar, if I were just to draw on it like that, it would be a lot of space, but also a lot of not so good space to work on, like with all the electrical details that's going on the body. There would be areas that would be hard to work on. And anyway, in any artwork that you do, you want to have like a focused area of detail, a focused area that people look at to see the actual artwork. So this white blob, this white area kind of gave me the opportunity to do that, and I think it worked out really well. And then we have that little area on the front side where I use the white instead of the black Posca pen, and where it kind of breaks out of that blob, which I think adds a lot of interest and it does a lot of good. So that's how we ended up coming to this. Then for the actual design, the actual drawing, the actual like motif, we decided to go with this because it was kind of inspired by like nature taking back over what man has built, or like taking back over what is rightfully hers, which sounds really cliche, obviously, which sounds really pretentious, but I do really like the idea. And if you just like Google, I don't know, plants overgrowing stuff that man has made, like trains, cars, buildings, basketball courts, telephone booths, stuff like that, it just looks very cool, and it looks very like post-apocalyptic in one way, but also very poetic, like practical justice and on the other hand. So we really like that and ended up going with that idea. And also just like those natural patterns of plants is something that is just very aesthetically appealing. Yeah, that was also a reason we ended up going with this design and why I think it ends up so cool. From there, I basically just had to trace all the lines that I'd drawn beforehand on my iPad, and while that worked really well, that method of just printing it out and tracing it all, I think it took away a little bit of the fun of just going in and drawing something, because basically you're not drawing it anymore, you're just tracing it, you're just copying something that you'd already drawn. But it was certainly the best method to do it, because if you're drawing on something like traditionally, you can't just go in and risk making mistakes, or making too many mistakes at least, that you can't undo anymore, because usually digitally you can just undo everything, but traditionally you can't. And especially with something like plants or animals that I'm not as confident in as, for example, humans, drawing humans, I didn't want to risk like messing all that up just because I hadn't prepared it beforehand. So that was definitely the best method for this project. From there, all I had to do was spray a coat of finish over it and screw all the loose parts back on, and we had our finished guitar. Here we are. It's been a lot of a longer time than I thought this would take, but I think it was definitely worth it, all the effort and time I put into this, because I'm really, really happy with the outcome. I've given the guitar back to my friend, and he's also very happy with the outcome. By the way, this is his Instagram, and I'm also going to link his account in the description if you're interested in music and stuff like that. He posts some of his music there, so make sure to give him a follow. Okay, I'm going to show you the footage of the final result right now, but before that, I have to ask you to go to the description and leave a comment with a video that you would like to see me do. Now, this could be anything from a tutorial to paint this or that, or to paint on this or that, or something like that. So make sure to do that, and if you don't have any ideas, make sure to still go to the comments and like the ideas that you like best, so I can just see what's popular. Also, while you're down there, I think the like and subscribe buttons are not too far off, so it probably wouldn't hurt to also hit those. Alright, now let's take a look at how this guitar looks once again. But a guitar is not only there, believe it or not, to be looked at, it is also there to be played. So after that, we're going to take a look at the guitar in action. So now we're at the end of the video. I'm going to do my typical YouTuber talk. So click here to subscribe to my channel. Find a playlist with other videos where I paint on stuff right here, and find a video you might like right here. Alright, I'm just going to hang in the frame until you click on something, and then I'll see you in the next video.